Hey guys, I have a crazy idea, an invention. Um, it's pretty far-fetched, but you never know. It's an invention, concept, idea on how to create a Stargate wormhole. And it's not really hard. It's not very complicated. It's a very simple concept. Here we have a paper clip, right? And in my hand, I have a neodymium magnet, right? And let's say this is the magnetic field of the sun, and this is this could be metal or just the same material as this, right? Let's say this is the actual Stargate. This is the sun, right? Magnetic field. See how I'll affect the magnet with the paperclip. Okay, pretty much it affects it, right? And this is just a piece of metal. And this is a magnet. This is has magnetic fields, and this is a piece of metal. And it could be the same. It could be two magnets, right? I could repel or attract if it was two magnets. Anyway, here's my concept. Let me flip this around. This is the sun, and it throws out lines of magnetic field, right, as you can see. But anyway, there's a circle in the middle close to the sun. I don't know if you could design it to be a specific metal or a magnet. As the magnetic field comes out of the sun itself, and this object's really close to the sun, this object will become magnetized or carry the magnetic field around it and through it. So this magnetic field will affect this object if it's made of metal or magnetic properties, right? And since I have a circle and the inside's open, so like I said, it's far-fetched. You know, it may not work, but I'm just throwing the idea, an invention concept. The magnetic field will wrap around this object. It will actually go through it. But what I'm saying is the inside will be like a Stargate. See, the magnetic field might be either one line, several lines, or it might be a whole list of lines, or we don't even know how thick these lines are. You know, what I'm saying is just like I affected this paperclip with magnetic field, I attracted whatever, you know, or you could repel it if it's another magnet. This could be designed to be affected by magnetic fields. So using the energy from the sun, using the magnetic field from the sun, you could design this ring to be affected by magnetic fields, and use the magnetic fields to open a wormhole. It's not far-fetched. So we're using the energy from the sun, we're using the magnetic field from the sun, and we're using the properties from this metal ring, whether it be magnetized or not, but we're using the properties of the magnetic field to affect this ring to open a wormhole. So since the magnetic fields go through billions and billions and billions and billions of light years, but if it's close enough to Earth, the ring will receive these magnetic fields, very powerful magnetic fields, and it will affect the ring. It will affect the ring. Now, how can it affect it? That is the question. So these rings magnetize or create magnetic field around this ring, because it'll create a magnetic field around the ring, right? What to say? What would happen for the inside of the ring if it's open space? It's empty. You know what I'm saying? can an object go through this ring while the magnetic field hits it? Could you open a portal, a wormhole, and more or less like a concept? So we're using the magnetic field ring right next to magnetic fields to open a wormhole using a simple concept. We're not using a lot of energy. We're using the sun's energy to open a portal. It's a pretty cool concept. A Stargate right next to the sun. And I think if you use a lot of magnetic fields, you could actually, the Stargate could actually, in theory, be a time portal, or something else. We don't know. It's just a concept. Like I said, it may not work, but just like the paperclip, right now, if you pull it apart just a little bit, right, there's magnetic field crossing from the magnet to the paperclip. You can't see it, but there's magnetic field right there. They're trying to pull it. So if this object's close to the sun, what would happen is magnetic field right here, it's going to affect this object. Okay? The magnetic fields will affect this object. But what would happen to this open space right here? Because it's just a ring, right? Just a ring that's being affected by magnetic fields, and magnetic fields are going haywire inside, just like, it goes through it and goes through the other side, but it's also at the same time affecting it. But what I'm saying, what would happen if you go inside? Because everything around the ring will be magnetized to be throwing magnetic fields all the way around the ring. But what would happen to the inside? I don't know. So, what I'm saying is, if the magnetic field gets concentrated inside, an object goes through the magnetized magnetic field in the inside, what would happen? Remember, the magnetic field is so powerful close to the sun. Very powerful magnetic fields. And if this gets magnetized and creates a magnetic field like this, because it's being so close to Earth, not the Earth, I'm sorry, close to the sun, right? So this object becomes magnetized and starts to acquiring the magnetic field from the sun, right? So it's becoming its own magnetic field, like that. But the inside, what I'm saying? Could you, in theory, use a magnetic field from the sun to magnetize and create a magnetic field on a ring, and in a sense open a wormhole? Or a power source of some sort. I don't know. It's just a complex idea. It's just a theory. It may and may not work, but it's just throwing it out there, the concept. So you guys have a good one, and take care.